12th Rabiul Awwal, 1445, and 27th of September, 2023. With the permission of all, I the honor and privilege to introduce to the Halaqah number 1283. MashaAllah. It is falling on the 12th Rabiul Awwal. MashaAllah, it's a very sacred day. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born in this day, so MashaAllah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless everybody on this day.
Ameen.
And we have Ustad Ahmad Ansari appearing for 135 times, MashaAllah. And he will be talking tonight, the 10 companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam who were given the news of Jannah in their lifetime. It's going to be part 3. And tonight he'll be continuing from Umar bin Khattab, where he left off last time too. Jazakallah khair, Ustad Ahmad Ansari coming to Halaqah. May Allah bless you and your parents for that. Then we go to the Quran session itself. The Quran session itself is 703, mashallah, and this was initiated by my Imam Hamid Shibli itself. And then we are blessed to have tonight our teacher, Abu Yazid itself, appearing for 368 times, mashallah. Looks like he'll be reciting 2 surah tonight. One he will be ending, and the other will be starting. That's surah number 8, Al-Infal. He'll start from ayah number 61 all the way up to 75, which is the end of Surah Al-Infal. And hopefully, I think, start Surah number 9, At-Tawbah itself. Mentioning about Surah Tawbah, there is no Bismillah. So I think everybody knows about it. So it has 129 ayah. Surah Tawbah. So request is being made, open your Quran on this surah itself. And listen to the beautiful recitation of Imam Abu Yazid. Imam Abu Yazid, Jazakallah khair, coming to Halaqah. May Allah bless you and your parents with that.
وجزاك الله أيضا يا شيخ عبد المجيد. حياك الله.
And we have my Imam Hamid Shibli itself, with all the preoccupation he has, and all the Shibli brothers who are gainfully employed, but still they make room for us, our Halaqah itself. May Allah bless all the Shibli brothers, their family, and also the parents by the same token, and also the parents for all the attendees who are with us from day one itself. So as regard the timeline goes, we have a 20-minute time slot for the Quran session, and the 40-minute time slot is for the speaker tonight, mashallah. And that will do it. The floor belongs to Imam Muhammad.
جزاكم الله خير ورحم الله والديكم, Brother Abdul Majid. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We say to everybody, inshallah, Eid Mawlid Mubarak, sallallahu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Ya Abu Yazid, assalamu alaikum.
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وإن جنحوا للسلم, ها؟
يسر.
إن شاء الله. تفضل.
إن شاء الله حبيبنا. زادك الله من فضله يا حبيبي إن شاء الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وإن جنحوا للسلم فاجنح لها وتوكل على الله. وإن جنحوا للسلم فاجنح لها وتوكل على الله. إنه هو السميع العليم. وإن يريدوا أن يخدعوك فإن حسبك الله هو الذي أيدك بنصره وبالمؤمنين وألف بين قلوبهم لو أنفقت ما في الأرض جميعا ما ألفت بين قلوبهم ولكن الله ألف بينهم إنه عزيز حكيم. يا أيها النبي حسبك الله ومن اتبعك من المؤمنين. يا أيها أيها النبي حرض المؤمنين على القتال إن يكن منكم 20 صابرون يغلبوا 200 وإن يكن منكم 100 يغلبوا 1000 من الذين كفروا بأنهم قوم لا يفقهون الآن خفف الله عنكم وعلم أن فيكم ضعفا فإن يكن منكم 100 صابرة يغلبوا 200 وإن يكن منكم 1000 يغلبون 2000 بإذن الله والله مع الصابرين ما كان لنبي أن يكون له أسرى حتى يثخن في الأرض تريدون عرض الدنيا والله يريد الآخرة والله عزيز حكيم لولا كتاب من الله سبق لمسكم فيما أخذتم عذاب عظيم فكلوا مما غنمتم حلالا طيبا واتقوا الله إن الله غفور رحيم يا أيها النبي قل لمن في أيديكم من الأسرى إن يعلم الله في قلوبكم خيرا يؤتكم خيرا مما أخذ منكم ويغفر لكم والله غفور رحيم وإن يريدوا خيانتك فقد خانوا الله من قبل فأمكن منهم والله عليم حكيم إن الذين آمنوا وهاجروا وجاهدوا بأموالهم وأنفسهم في سبيل الله والذين آووا ونصروا أولئك بعضهم أولياء بعض والذين آمنوا ولم يهاجروا ما لكم من ولايتهم من شيء حتى يهاجروا وإن استنصروكم في الدين فعليكم النصر إلا على قوم بينكم وبينهم ميثاق والله بما تعملون بصير والذين كفروا بعضهم أولياء بعض إلا تفعلوه تكن فتنة في الأرض وفساد كبير والذين آمنوا وهاجروا وجاهدوا في سبيل الله والذين آووا ونصروا أولئك هم المؤمنون حقا لهم مغفرة ورزق كريم والذين آمنوا من بعد وهاجروا وجاهدوا معكم فأولئك منكم وأولو الأرحام بعضهم أولى ببعض في كتاب الله إن الله بكل شيء عليم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم براءة من الله ورسوله إلى الذين عاهدتم من المشركين فسيحوا في الأرض 4 أشهر واعلموا أنكم غير معجز الله وأن الله مخزي الكافرين. وأذان من الله ورسوله إلى الناس يوم الحج الأكبر أن الله بريء من المشركين ورسوله، فإن تبتم فهو خير لكم، وإن توليتم فاعلموا أنكم غير معجز الله، وبشر الذين كفروا بعذاب أليم. إلا الذين عاهدتم من المشركين ثم لم ينقصوكم شيئا ولم يظاهروا عليكم أحدا، فأتموا إليهم عهدهم إلى مدتهم، إن الله يحب المتقين. فإذا انسلخ الأشهر الحرم فقاتلوا المشركين حيث وجدتموهم وخذوهم واحصروهم واقعدوا لهم كل مرصد، فإن تابوا وأقاموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة فخلوا سبيلهم، إن الله غفور رحيم. وإن أحد من المشركين استجارك فأجره حتى يسمع كلام الله ثم أبلغه مأمنه، ذلك بأنهم قوم لا يعلمون. كيف يكون للمشركين عهد عند الله وعند رسوله إلا الذين عاهدتم عند المسجد الحرام، فما استقاموا لكم فاستقيموا لهم، إن الله يحب المتقين. كيف وإن يظهروا عليكم لا يرقبوا فيكم إلا ولا ذمة، يرضونكم بأفواههم وتأبى قلوبهم وأكثرهم فاسقون. اشتروا بآيات الله ثمنا قليلا فصدوا عن سبيله، إنهم ساء ما كانوا يعملون. لا يرقبون في مؤمن إلا ولا ذمة، وأولئك هم المعتدون. فإن تابوا وأقاموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة فإخوانكم في الدين، ونفصل الآيات لقوم يعلمون. وإن نكثوا أيمانهم من بعد عهدهم وطعنوا في دينكم فقاتلوا أئمة الكفر إنهم لا أيمان لهم لعلهم ينتهون. ألا تقاتلون قوما نكثوا أيمانهم وهموا بإخراج الرسول وهم بدؤوكم أول مرة، أتخشونهم؟ فالله أحق أن تخشوه إن كنتم مؤمنين. قاتلوهم يعذبهم الله بأيديكم ويخزهم وينصركم عليهم ويشفي صدور قوم مؤمنين ويذهب غيظ قلوبهم ويتوب الله على من يشاء، والله عليم حكيم. صدق الله العظيم.
فتح الله عليكم وزادكم من فضله ورحم والديكم إن شاء الله Sheikh Abu Yazid.
آمين جميعا إن شاء الله.
Sheikh Abu Yazid, one question for Ifada inshallah for everybody. You start Surah Bara'a by أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Can you make why you do that?
Yes, inshallah. I just speak brief and inshallah our Sheikh will go further explanation about this. Surah Bara'a, this is the only surah in the Quran that it doesn't start with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And I think this is become well known to all brothers and sisters who are related to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All other surah in the Quran, they start with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, except Surah Bara'a. We start only with A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytan ar-rajim. Even the qira'ah from the beginning of the surah or the qira'ah from the middle of the surah, we start with A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytan ar-rajim. That's why the surah is called Surah Bara'a, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala free from the al-mushrikeen. And inshallah, Sheikh Hamad will go more explanation about this inshallah.
جزاكم الله خير وزادكم من فضله ورحم والديكم إن شاء الله.
اللهم آمين جميعا إن شاء الله.
شكرا يا أخي، نراكم غدا بإذن
إن شاء
الله.
الله بإذن الله. حياك الله أخوي.
شيخ أبو أحمد السلام عليكم. You are mute Sheikh Hamad.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
You give Ustaz Ahmad taklif from last week about program of the Sunnah and for all the speakers to talk about the Sunnah. He prepared something, inshallah. You like to hear from him now, or that between you and him, Sheikh Hamad?
No, inshallah, no.
تفضل أستاذ أحمد. أستاذ أحمد تفضل.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I just wanted to tell everyone exciting news inshallah. Sheikh Imam Hamad told me last week that this is Rabiul Awwal and this is the month of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, so it would be a good, wonderful opportunity to hear and learn more about Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, his life, his character, his akhlaq, his family, a lot of time from the beginning. So inshallah, I drafted some topic, so the week-long activities will come, inshallah. So we'll distribute the topics to the scholars, to our mashayikh, the speakers. And inshallah, I request everyone, you will receive a notification, inshallah, from which day is going to begin. So every day there will be like some long lectures. Inshallah, I would like you all to participate, inshallah, to listen. I picked up all these major items from the life of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, starting from his birth all the way till the end of his life. Very interesting topic. So inshallah, if I can share with you some of the so for example, first lecture is Rasulullah's birth and his early life, all the way till he receives prophethood and nubuwwah. Second, Rasulullah's life in Mecca, part 1. It has, points like his marriage to Khadija, his role and responsibilities, what happened into Cave of Hira when Jibreel brings the Wahi, the years which were tough for the Muslims, Darul Arqam, what was Darul Arqam, what happened, how is the educational activities went on. Then we have a third lecture, Rasulullah's Life in Mecca, part 2. It has the Habasha. We will learn about the Islam of Hamza and Abdul Muttalib and Umar ibn Khattab, the general boycott, Amul Huzn, also the year that Abu Talib and Khadija radiallahu anha died, and how Islam is spread. Then Rasulullah arrives in Medina, and we will hear interesting stories of migration to Medina, migration's objectives, important lessons. Rasulullah establishing the Masjid. It's a university of learning. He introduced Al-Muwakhat, Islamic Brotherhood, and how he established a community in Medina with different types of people. And the whole chapter, the whole lecture is about his character of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the scholars, inshallah, the speakers will narrate good stories about how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to possess excellent moral character. One lecture is about Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, Fath Makkah, and Hajjat al-Wada'. What are the important lessons about it? One lecture is about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam being an ideal teacher, a muallim and murabbi. And one lecture is about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is an ideal personality. So his relationship with his family, his friends, neighbors, youth, children, how to he deal with that. خياركم خياركم لأهلي وأنا خيركم لأهلي. And last but not least, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as an ideal role model. لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة. So inshallah, before that, I prepare a note that will be sent to the community members, announcing that the series is coming, inshallah. And as soon as I will review this with Sheikh Muhammad, you will receive, inshallah, information about the upcoming series, and we will go from there. So I just wanted to brief you. Is Sheikh Muhammad, is everything okay according to your?
Tonight, I like to give my miskeen and my murabbi, Fadilat Sheikh Ahmed Al-Ansari. Before we address all those things, I took note about it. Can you take my time from now till you start to lecture? If you give us some aadat and taqaleed, which mean a tradition of the people, or the habit of the people, how they welcome the 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal. I am not talking from the Quran and the Sunnah. I'm talking how the people come up with maybe a different tradition. I know about my country, Lebanon, or maybe other place I live in Egypt, but maybe in the subcontinent. I'm not blind completely, but I never lived there. If you could take my time and share with us related to the subject, what the tradition back home in the subcontinent, inshallah ta'ala, because you lived there for a while, inshallah.
I think I need to do some homework before I speak about that. So you want me to speak tonight?
And how you grow up? How you grow up in your family, in your masjid, when Rabi' al-Awwal will come, what mom used to do, what the family used to do, what the neighbor used to do. I'm not about reference or date, just if you wish, inshallah.
But I have, Ya Sheikh, I have my own topic. So allow me to speak today about the topic that I'm already working on it.
Please go ahead. Go ahead. Say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm listening tonight. Please say Bismillah.
Is it my time? You're not going to speak tonight?
No. I am listening. Go ahead. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وأصلي وأسلم عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ثم أما بعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام
We were talking about the العشرة المبشرين بالجنة إن شاء الله. And I was mentioning about Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab رضي الله عنه. Virtues of Umar ibn al-Khattab. Some good news that Rasulullah ﷺ said about Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab. Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu narrates, I said, we the Sahaba used to believe that Sakina always comes out when Umar radiallahu anhu speaks. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu narrates, Jibreel alayhi salam came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and he says, say my salam to Umar ibn al-Khattab. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam also says that Umar ibn al-Khattab is at a level the shaitan runs from him. Shaitan yakhafu min Umar. And he said, yeah, Umar ibn al-Khattab, if you were to walk on a street and shaitan is coming, shaitan changes his path and goes the other way around. Let me just quickly go through some more. Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu said about Umar ibn al-Khattab, on the face of the earth, no man came which was more beloved to me than Umar ibn al-Khattab. So someone asked Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu while he was sick. In the sickness, he died. He said, ماذا تقول لربك وقد وليت عمر? He said, what are you going to tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you made Umar ibn al-Khattab as your Khalifa? He says, I will tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَلَّيْتُ عَلَيْهِمْ خَيْرًا, that I made someone who is the best as their Amir. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu was known telling the truth. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu was considered a faqih. And a faqih had lots of ilm. So Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, one of his characteristics is that he knew a lot of ilm. Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, who himself a scholar, an expert of Quran and Quranic sciences, he says, if the entire knowledge that Umar ibn al-Khattab has, if that put in a scale, one side, and then the second scale, you put all the other knowledge, then the side that has Umar ibn al-Khattab's knowledge will be heavier and go down. He used to be known as the most knowledgeable man. And he never hesitated to say the truth. Let me go there more. Now, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu also have some more distinctions that no other Sahabi received. For example, he was a man of ra'i. He had an opinion. So a lot of times he mentioned something to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah responded by revealing that thing that's mentioned by Umar ibn Khattab in the Quran itself. So that's why he used to say, وَافَقْتُ رَبِّي فِي ثَلَاثٍ. He said there are three things that as soon as I said something or I mentioned it to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah revealed this in the Quran. So one of the three was he went to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, Ya Rasulullah, this Maqam Ibrahim, which is closer to the Kaaba, if you tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that has to be made as the maqam where we have to pray. All the Hujjaj, when they go to Haram, after the Tawaf, they go to Maqam Ibrahim and they pray 2 rak'ah. So the ayah was revealed exactly the same way as Umar ibn Khattab requested. وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى, and make the station of Ibrahim as the place to pray. Then he said, Ya Rasulullah, so many people enter here, and your family, your wives are here. There are some good people and there are some bad people. Would you ask your wives to cover up? So then the Ayatul Hijab is revealed. And all the wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they used to show some ghira to Umar ibn Khattab. And also at the prisoners after the Battle of Badr, his opinion, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heard it. And it's something very interesting that when ayat were revealing to abandon alcohol or forbid sharab, khamr, each time an ayah is revealed, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu used to say, Allahumma bayyin lana fil khamri bayanan shafiyan. Say, oh Allah, give us more clear statement. Until the final ayah is revealed, where he said, first it says that do not pray and you are in the halat of sukkar, you are intoxicated. And then one ayah says that there are more harms in the liquor, in wine, than the benefits. And then finally, it says now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbids completely. So Umar ibn Khattab said, intahayna. So that's martaba, or the rank of Umar ibn Khattab's ilm. He was considered a big alim, a big faqih, mufassir of the Quran. It is said that Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu asked, who used to give fatwas in his time? He said, I don't remember anybody else except that I have seen Abu Bakr Siddiq, and after that, Umar ibn Khattab. So long Umar ibn Khattab was alive, nobody has the authority to give fatwa, the religious opinion. So he was the faqih also. Umar ibn Khattab was, his martaba was very high, his maqam. So some of the things happened from him that nobody could do that. So at one time, he was giving a khutbah. And he sent an army. And the leader of the army was a man named Sariya. And he went at a far place. And Umar ibn Khattab here, yakhutub in Medina. He's giving a khutbah. And then suddenly, in the middle of the khutbah, he stopped and he said, Ya Sariyat al-Jabal, Ya Sariyat al-Jabal. O Sariya, be by the side of the mountain. Be by the side of the mountain. And subhanAllah, kushufat. He just realized that that army was fighting and they were about to be defeated. So Umar ibn Khattab from here, from Medina, screamed out loud to tell the leader, whose name was Sariya, that if you be by the side of the mountain and then you attack, you will win. Then he continued his khutbah after that. So after the battle was over, Sariya came back and all the other people came back from the place where they were fighting. They said, one day we were fighting and something so strange happened. I heard my name, someone was screaming, asking me, and we were about to be defeated, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. So we were thinking how to win over. Unless suddenly we heard a sound, a loud voice calling my name, Ya Sariya, be by the side of the mountain 3 times. And then we quickly moved to the side of the mountain and we were able to defeat them. So this is one of the famous, also he had another story that Amr ibn al-As radiallahu anhu, when he was appointed as the governor of Egypt, he said the Nile, the river Nile, they had a custom. Once a year, the level of water goes down. And they want a young lady, a young girl, and they put him lots of nice clothes and jewelry and all this. They threw him. So there was a custom for a long, long time. So when he got there and people told him that we need to throw, so Amr ibn al-As, he said, we can't do that. This is like haram, is killing. So then he sent a message to Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu. Umar ibn Khattab said, I am sending you this letter. فَإِذَا جَاءَكَ كِتَابِي, when you receive my letter, and he wrote a letter, guess to who? To the river Nile. To the river. It says something like this, Assalamu alaikum, O river, this is from the servant of Allah, Umar ibn Khattab, Amir al-Mu'mineen. If you are running with your own power, we don't need you. But if you are running with Allah's power, then Allah increased. So after Amr al-As threw the letter in the water, the next morning people saw there was like a 3 size more water. So these are some of the it says throwing any girl, any lady live, it will not be possible because it's never going to happen in Islam. In al-Islam yahdimu ma kana qabla. Islam destroys all these practices. And then Amr ibn Khattab, Amr ibn al-As told Amr ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, I did exactly what you told me. And the letter says, it's quite interesting. He said, from the servant of Allah, Umar, Amir al-Mu'mineen, addressed to the Nile, the river, for the people of Egypt. أما بعد فإن كنت تجري من قبلك, if you are running on your own, then don't run. We don't need you. وإن كان الله يجريك, and if Allah is making you run, فأسأل الله الواحد القهار, then I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أن يجريك. So he threw a letter, one of the Khattab's letter, and in the morning there were 10 zira more water came in one night. So since then, that evil practice of throwing ladies was abolished. He was very nice and kind with zuhud. He used to eat little. He used to pray the whole night. His famous story, his young son Asim, he used to love one type of food, and he used to eat every single day same food. But one day his dad came and he saw him eating. So he said, Asim, what are you eating? He said, Baba, or whatever he calls him, like Amir al-Mu'minin Umar al-Khattab. He told him what he's eating. So he said, okay. The next time he saw him eating, he called him and asked him, what are you eating? He told him what he is eating. The third time he saw him eating the same thing, he said to him, "Ikhshawshinu, fa inna an-ni'mata la tadum." He said, Ya Asim, be rough on you. Do not get limited on one ni'mah, because sometimes something you love to eat, you're passionate about it, you go crazy for it, you won't find it. Okay. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu is the one who introduced the concept of self-discipline, al-muhasabah. He used to say, "Hasibu qabla an tuhasabu." He said you had to evaluate yourself before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accounts, and Allah will account us. So al-muhasabah is a very, very good habit that we can adopt in our life. Umar ibn al-Khattab used to cry so much. The people narrate, especially Abdullah ibn Isa, rahmahullah, he says, Umar ibn al-Khattab's face has 2 black lines under eyes, and that was because he was constantly crying. The last one, inshallah. There are a lot of victories at the time of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu. In the 14th year, Damascus was conquered. Then Hims, Baalabak, then Basra. Umar ibn Khattab was the first one who gathered people to pray Salatul Tarawih with Jama'ah. Urdun, modern day Jordan, was conquered in his time. Qadisiyah, Misr. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu introduced the toll, the register to do entries, record keeping, to give bonuses and allowances. In the 16th year, Ahwaz and Madain, cities of Qaisar, was conquered, and the Jum'ah was established in Iraq. Then Tikrit, Bayt al-Maqdis, and all the other small, bigger cities around. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu had the honor of expanding al-Masjid al-Nabawi. At one time in Medina, there was a starvation, qaht, in the entire area of Hijaz. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu asked Al-Abbas, the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to do Salatul Istisqa, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send rain when people are in need of water. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave him a sheet, rida. So whenever Umar ibn Khattab used to go to Salatul Istisqa, he always have this burda on top of him. And then subhanAllah, what he did, when the dua time comes in, he was holding the hand of the uncle of Rasulullah, Al-Abbas, and raising it to the heavens. He says, "Oh Allah, we are asking you because of the uncle of your Nabi to remove this calamity and to give us rain." And they keep on asking that, mentioning Al-Abbas' name, until lots of rain came. In the 20th year, Misr was conquered, Egypt. In the year 21 Hijri, another big city, Iskandariya, was conquered. Then Azerbaijan, Dainur, all these Trablus, Maghrib, all these cities were conquered. When he started getting old, he used to make this dua. "Oh Allah, kaburat sinni," I got old. وضعفت قوتي, and I got weak. I am not so strong. وانتشرت رعيتي, and my people spread all over. فاقبضني إليك, then take me, I want to come to you. So this year, even before Zulhijjah comes in, he was assassinated. In the last one, there was a ghulam, the Majusi ghulam, Abu Lu'lu'a, who was the slave of Mughira. He is the one who injured him at Fajr prayer with the khanjar that has two heads. And then also he hit another 12 people. 6 of them died on the spot. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu died later because of the wound. He said, "Straighten your rows for Salat al-Fajr." That slave came and stood right in front of him in the saf, and he attacked him on his shoulder and his lower back. Umar radiallahu anhu fell down. He also injured 13 other people. 6 of them passed away, and Umar was carried to his family. A son about to come out, Abdurrahman bin Auf radiallahu anhu, completed the prayer. Umar was given something to drink. And then he passed away. And I have a lot. I'm trying to bring something which is famous, simple. Let's stop here. Brother Abdul Majid, how many?
You have 8 minutes. You can go ahead and complete the thing. I think presentation itself.
How many minutes do I have?
You have 7 minutes right now as you speak.
So the reason I shared this, that we need to learn the stories of these fascinating individuals, not only the 10 people who were given the good news of Jannah in their lifetime, but the Sahaba in general. They're fascinating individuals. So reading about each one of them will give us a perspective that we can learn a lot. First of all, we know their personalities. The most important thing is this gives us a chance to compare our way of doing things and their way of doing things. Because their way of doing things or making decisions or how to walk away or go through in their life was exactly the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because they were taught and trained by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was their direct teacher. So if we follow from their example and learn something from these individuals who were taught and trained by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then the style of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes to our style, comes to our life. And if we adopt their ways, then almost half of our problems go away. This is one of our major issues that we do not mention even about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam regularly. We talk about Rasulullah only, for example, when Rabiul Awwal comes in, or whenever after 6 months when we have a Sirah conference. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's personality is something that we need to mention it almost every single day, every single day. I remember I went to this big school to give a workshop for teachers, and the principal asked me to speak to the school student. There were hundreds of students in the auditorium. So I don't know what I was thinking. I asked him, I said, someone gave me a chocolate bar there. So I said, I showed them the chocolate bar. And I said, this chocolate bar is the one who gives me Rasulullah's mom's name. I did not say the mother. I told them the mom. He said, whoever give me the correct name of the mom of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this chocolate bar is for him. And I've seen like so much excitement. But then they were giving me those random names that if I share with you, you're gonna laugh. It was so funny. Until finally one teacher stood up and She said, brother, her name was Amina, and I just couldn't control because no child knew the Rasulullah's mom's name. And the reason is because we didn't mention it at home. All these small things, learning about Rasulullah is part of our tarbiyah and the ta'aleem at home. So when we do not mention it, they do not learn. So Rasulullah's life, the Sahaba's life, will be a household name. For example, we need to keep on talking about that. So the more we talk about that, the more we know them personal level. And the more we know them personal level, we need to bring their habits, their style into our style. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us able to remember them, to love them, to practice what they preach, and to adopt them as our role model. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وجزاكم الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Well, Jazakallah khair. Looks like, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Say it again.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. I think you covered such a, he was such a towering figure in
Yes.
Islamic, that this, you took, I think the second session that you took on the topic of Umar bin Khattab.
Brother Abdul Majid, Umar bin Khattab, I have been trying, it took me a couple of years that I wanted to collect. It is so much that I cannot do that because it will be like a whole month to keep on talking about him.
That's very correct.
Huge. That's why I was like scrolling the scriptures that I have, the book, and I was like searching like simple things.
Yes.
So it was like an encyclopedia. It was like a dictionary.
Yes.
And inshallah, I'm working on about the things from the governmental side, because he is the one who gave like unique foundation for running the government and what he did for the public. So things that he introduced in his time, the salaries and tolls and motels and judges, and he appointed big appointments he did.
Yes.
And
Sure.
his unique style at last minute, it is very interesting because I was searching how he used to appoint big people, like a governor's appointment. So whenever he needed a government, his method was so unique. So he invites people, all the people in the masjid, and he said, "Ya ayyuhan nas," I read it so many times that I memorized that. So he said, "Oh people, inni uridu waliyan." I am looking for a governor, for example, for Iraq, or a governor for Hims, like look at one city or a state. And how the governor should be, look the characteristics. He said, إذا كان في القوم وليس أميرا عليهم. He said, if that person is in a gathering, this is my criteria. Search me a person who, if he is present among the people and he has not yet been appointed as a governor, he looks like a governor. His personality, his hayba, his akhlaq, his maturity, his knowledge, his ilm. And if he is already appointed as a governor and he's among the people, it looks like he is one of the people. So humble, so down to earth. And
Yes.
his task is, first of all, to teach the book of Allah, the Quran, the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the system, help other people, do justice with people, and a couple of more tasks. And at the end, he says, I want someone who does not close his door when someone comes and knocks his door and needs help. But this is extremely, extremely disliked with Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, that if you are in a position of authority and someone goes to you asking you for help and he finds your door locked or closed, you're not accessible. So many governors' stories that he punished them and reprimanding them for not doing this. So this Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu is an amazing personality. I love always love talking about this, and I learn on a personal basis too.
I think, I don't want to ask any more question on that, but I want to point out to you two things that I found in your presentation itself. I don't know, you would have read about it, that he also said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there should be no namaz for the munafiqeen. That is correct?
Yeah, I think so. But
This is one of that. And then
it's an ayah from the Quran, yes.
That's correct. And then we have, he has a lot of say in Izwaj Mutaharat thing, like keeping secret. And again, divorcing the thing, this part of the history itself. But his taqwa that really struck me was that he really came up with this, don't raise your voice before Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He was very insistent on that.
This is also in the Quran, yes.
That's correct, yes. I think that's what I have to say. I yield my time to Abdul Rafu. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Abdul.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I have a question. During the course of the lecture, I just want to get it clear. You mentioned that Umar bin Khattab, when he was trying to do the prayer for istiqah, for a rain, that he lifted the hands of Al-Abbas, that the uncle of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Yes,
so I want to know to what extent can we also during these days can we seek requests of Almighty Allah for using somebody who is a prominent person in the society who has the taqwa of Allah to request for things from Almighty Allah. How is it acceptable in Islam?
This is the it's the fiqh issues, and I normally don't give any fiqh opinion on that, especially after the Khairul Qurun, as we said, the best of the time is Rasulullah's time, then Sahaba's time, then Tabi'een's time. So it's called, but you can always ask the Mashayikh, like Imam Shibli is always here in the gathering. You can, I think, ask him. So if you learn from him, I will learn too. But this is a famous story mentioned in all the Sirah books. The Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu used to respect Al-Abbas, the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There were 4 uncles. One is Abu Talib, the older uncle. So I say he was not a Muslim, not a Mushrik. Then Al-Abbas was Sahabi, a Muslim. He accepted Islam. Then was Hamza. This is the 3rd one, who also accepted Islam. He became Sahabi of Rasulullah. He was a strong supporter for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He defended him. And then the last one is Abu Lahab. He died as a mushrik. He never accepted Islam. He is the one who was the worst enemy. He bothered, tortured him and his wife, did everything possible to harm him. And that's why Tabbat Yada Abi Lahab is revealed. He was an extremely rich person, and he used his resources and richness also to cause troubles for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why the ayah says, "Ma aghna anhu maluhu wa ma kasab." Neither his wealth or his earning helped him. I mean, of course, in the final punishment in the hellfire. So I think my best suggestion would be to place your question to Sheikh Muhammad or Sheikh Jamal or maybe Sheikh Ahmad Shibli. Maybe tomorrow when he comes.
Jazakallah khair. I think we come to the end of our session. So requesting dua, Ustad Ahmad Natsari, as you always do that. And
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل عليه في الأولين وصل عليه في الآخرين وصل عليه بالملائكة الأعلى إلى يوم الدين اللهم صل عليه في كل وقت وحين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. O Allah, give us the love of Rasulullah, his companions, and try to mold our life into their way so that they can learn their way of doing things and match our way of doing things with them. O Allah, give us the tawfiq to learn more and more about their life activities to improve our activities, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وجزاكم الله خيرا.
Jazakallah khair, Ustad Ahmad Natsari. See you next time, inshallah. And again, can you kindly do this Surah Al-Asr? Al-Asr.
والعصر إن الإنسان لفي صالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.
Jazakallah khair again. Thank you so much. And thank you very much, all the audience yourself. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.